you've gone so viral. You've been everywhere. There's been blankety blank. There's been come dine with me. I've been on social media for years.
To be honest, I was feeling exhausted because I was constantly trying to prove myself that I'm not fake. I am just being authentic and real. Don't touch my face!
I think everybody wants to know, how was it being on national TV, on Big Brother? Coming from a South Asian sort of background, obviously you wear your hijab, you're quite religious as well. Some of our women are not pushed to say, yeah, you can go and do this.
Bullying also goes on, I did experience some of that. So there were 6 of them. When it came to nominations, they would stick together in a group.
Right.
And then when it was time for nominations, they would target that one person. Looking back, when I came out the house, there was a lot going on social media saying, there's microaggression, there's racism, Farida, we could see it, there was bullying, they were talking behind your backs. It's just good that I'm strong enough to stand up.
Welcome back to Take a Seat. It's your boy Sean Land. Boy, have I got an amazing episode for you guys today. We talk all about entrepreneurship, business, lifestyle. And today, I've got a reality TV star. She's just been on Big Brother, but that's not the only thing she's been on. So let's conversate all about it. Please welcome Farida Khalifa.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm excited to be here to share my news, Sean. It's so good to see you.
You're everywhere at the moment. What's happening?
We're trending. We are trending. You know what?
Yes.
We're actually meeting our targets. That was my whole focal point of being on Big Brother, so that more and more people see this beautiful face.
Come on. Do you know what? Even you was in the Sun newspaper the other day.
Yeah. Honestly, the Sun, Cosmopolitan, oh my God, we could name about 10, 15 newspapers trending all over the internet.
But do you know what? You didn't even know you were going to appear on there. All you've done is just put your TikTok account on and you've done a live and somebody's written an article about you, about everything you've said in that live. How does that feel? Like, do you feel like your personal life's being impeded on? Like, are you being stalked or what?
Are you on about the other day, right, Sean? I had an hour to spare because I was on Late and Live, Big Brother, and then we do Late and Live straight after. So I was doing that. And then when I was coming back home, I thought I'd got an hour in the hotel. So I thought, let's get on to TikTok. And then I also live streamed on Instagram. Little did I know, everything was being recorded. And before you know it, the whole live stream was published by The Sun.
Wow.
How do I feel about that?
Yeah.
I guess it's the celebrity showbiz lifestyle. If you put yourself out there, you've got to expect,
So you embrace it.
Just embrace it. That's the way I take it.
I love that. Do you know what? You've gone viral, like so viral. You've been everywhere. There's been blankety blank. There's been come dine with me. That was one of the first ones that I think that came out with you. That
2009.
You got,
come
like,
dine with me.
So a lot of people just think, they just see the tip of the iceberg. They go, Big Brother, that's where she's just come out now. But you've been on social media for years.
Yeah.
Cracking that algorithm.
To be honest, when I actually did come dine with me, I just set up my business in the year 2000 through the Prince's Trust.
Yes.
Yeah. And at the time there was no Facebook, so you had to think of different ways of getting yourself out there, getting on the Google, on the ranks, as they used to call it. The more things you'd done, the more you'd get up there. So it was just thinking out the box, and I thought, you know what, I'll have to give it a go, do a bit of come dine with me. It will help my platform. And sure enough, it did.
It is like, really sort of almost commendable, like brave of you, because coming from a South Asian sort of background and, obviously you wear your hijab, you're quite religious as well. Some of our women are not given that sort of, push to say, yeah, you can go and do this.
Well, to be honest, when I did come dine with me, lots of people have said, how come you didn't wear a headscarf when you did come dine with me? That was in 2009. Now, my headscarf is part of my own personal journey. But I've been a firm believer in, you've got to go out there and achieve all your goals, fulfill your dreams. My background is nursery nursing, health and social care and education, but I always had a passion for business, and it is about multiple stream incomes to get successful. You've got to monetize on, to achieve your goals. These days, if you're going to do a 9 to 5, it really just doesn't work. So I always had a passion, and I've always lived my best life and lived it on my terms.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, I pay the bills. It's my rules.
Wow, I like that. Look, we're gonna delve so deep into your journey as well. You've named a few things. I know you've met Prince Charles through the Prince's Trust, and you know how to apply for grants to set up brand new businesses. So we're going to talk all about that. But I think everybody wants to know, how was it being on national TV, on Big Brother, a house made bespokely for you guys to live in, with all these contestants from different backgrounds, different energies, different ages, different, even like genders, and so much going on, where the world has changed so much since it first started. When Big Brother did first start, there was a lot of even racism and stuff. Like I think Jade Goody was on that at that time, and and how some of the celebrities were treated, like Shilpa Shetty, when they were on. How was it actually being on the inside looking out?
Well, to be honest, microaggression and unfortunately racism still goes on. Bullying also goes on, and I would say there was, I did experience some of that.
Okay.
However, I'm a very, very strong person, and I was the oldest of 16 housemates.
Really?
But I was the oldest of 16 housemates, and I had my own strategy. Regardless, in that house, I would have liked to have learnt about... the casting was absolutely fantastic. There was Dylan with an amputated leg.
Yes.
There was Kerry with her MS.
MS is, what does that mean?
Muscular cirrhosis, I think.
Okay, that's right. Yes.
But I'll be honest, I haven't got much knowledge on that condition. But, there was people with Hallie, who was a tran, and then...
Who came out on the show, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And the housemates embraced it.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And, there was people of different...
Was you shocked?
Was I shocked?
About when she came out, like, to say,
No,
hey,
not
I need
at
a
all.
confection,
No, not at all. I was expecting people but I was just so pleased how the casting was done. But one thing I really, really regret is I was hoping that I was going to learn about different people. For example, I'm teaching you my culture.
Yes.
About the eating food and things like that.
Yeah.
How we eat with our fingers, and it's a very cultural thing to even sit on the floor. And I like to embrace my culture, so I wanted to share my culture, but I also wanted to learn about other people's cultures. So when I came out the house, for example, there was this thing going on about Salmon Gate where I'd double dipped. Right, okay. I put my hands up. I didn't realise it was such a big, big deal.
So this was the scenario where you've taken a bit of another housemate's fish. What's that? Olivia, was it?
Yeah. But, I would have appreciated if Olivia had actually said to me, Farida, this is my culture. We don't eat from each other's plates. And I would have accepted that.
Yeah.
And I would have respected the fact that's your culture. And I want you to celebrate mine. I want to celebrate yours. Let's learn off each other. But unfortunately, the housemates there was a lot of backbiting, backstabbing, talking about each other behind their backs.
Was it weird looking at, because we saw the angle where you was like, oh, can I try a bit of that? And she was like, yeah, go on. And then you've eaten it, and then we see you go for it again, and we could see she was a little bit like, okay. And then the camera captures something totally different outside, where she's like, that Farida, she went for my fish. It was okay in that scenario, but 2 minutes later outside, she's bitching about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That what I would have loved is if I'd learnt about different people's, because I even noticed in the comments on social media, people were saying to Kerry, oh, well, we would have loved it if you had told us more about your MS. The housemates would have appreciated that as well.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the whole point of a social experiment, of different people coming from different faiths, cultures, religions, and, you know, backgrounds, to learn about each other. You know, there was a diverse, and unfortunately, my experience, there was a lot of tasks. I mean, I only was in the house for a week, so there was a lot of tasks, but there was a lot of downtime where we could have learned a lot about each other and what you know, what made us unique, because the actual cast was chosen very, very selectively. Going back to the Olivia situation, you know, it was all over social media, this double dipping scenario. And guess what? A few weeks into the episode, I spotted Chanel and Olivia doing a chili challenge, drinking out the same milk carton.
Oh, mate.
Nothing was said.
Wow.
Wonder why?
Wow.
Nothing was said. They drank out the same carton. Is that double dipping? Then, a few weeks later, Matty, who I absolutely adore, was cooking in a big pot, straight from the spoon into his mouth while he's cooking, tasting it.
Wow.
That food was served to all the housemates. Was anything said? I don't think so. But had Farida had done it,
It would be all over it.
it would have
Do
been
you think it could be to do with your background, where you're from?
Well, like I said, I did. Looking back at the episodes and that, I could see there was definitely, you know, there was bullying going on in that house. It's just good that I'm strong enough to stand up.
Yeah.
And it was like there was a group of them, you know, unfortunately, Kerry and Hallie and Olivia, the three girls, and then there was Jenkins, Tom and Paul. So there was 6 of them that had sort of, but they cleverly would, when it came to nominations, they would stick together in a group.
Right.
And then when it was time for nominations, they would target that one person. So the first week I was their target. The second week it was Zach. And this is how they, you know, yeah, it was a shame that, you know, I had that experience of, you know, looking back when I came out the house, there was a lot going on social media saying, you know, there's microaggression, there's racism, Farida, we could see it, there was bullying, they were talking behind your back, they were hiding pots of noodles, you know, and basically they were disrespecting and having a laugh at my expense. But what they failed to understand is I've got a huge following in the real world. Farida's army, they'll have you for breakfast, watch out. And Sean, you know, don't you? You know me way before the Big Brother days.
Of course.
How much support I've got on social media.
Massive, because do you know what, you're a genuine person, you're authentic, and you help a lot of people, you give a lot of advice, you know. We've done many lives together, so when I saw you on Big Brother and you were telling me, you know, after that I'm going in, etc., I was like, wow, like this lady is exactly what it is on the tin. She says what she does. Do you know what I mean?
Talking about helping people, I mean, I can't take away the goodness it did as far as going on Big Brother. The whole process was long. Oh, since it was the casting crew that spotted me on TikTok. Initially, I said no to the offer, and then I reassessed it and thought, how could it benefit me? Well, you know, and then I reconsidered and put in my application. The whole process took over nearly a year. A lot of meetings, you know, it's very thorough. That was, you know, an experience in itself. Actually being on Big Brother, I now know, although I went through that difficult time inside the house, that's why I was so relieved on my exit interview. You could see a sigh of relief when I felt like the public had saved me, let alone
Wow.
but do you know how many people that have reached out to me? I had a young lady, she had autism, she was struggling anxiety,
Bless her.
she was struggling to leave the house. Now she messages me and tells me I've completely changed her mindset about living your best life.
Brilliant.
She's actually taken herself out. Her family are like, wow, what happened? And they're like, and she's like, Farida inspired me to live my best life. I've had trans girls, yeah, that have their mums have contacted me, how I've inspired them to live their truth, you know, and believe in themselves. And
Is
you
that something you did with one of the housemates that other people have seen or something?
just I think the fact that I went in as this hijabi, you know, I was the minority. I looked different compared to the other housemates.
Yeah.
I celebrated my religion by practicing my faith.
Yes.
Big Brother, they were absolutely brilliant. They gave me, you know, they accommodated for my needs to actually be in that house.
Wow.
So, you know, like they gave me my own. I know you're not allowed a clock, but because of my prayers, I was allowed one.
Wow.
They gave me a Quran, which is, you know, our prayer. Yeah. And then I was practicing doing my 5 times prayer so I could come away from tasks whenever the prayers were. I had my own fridge. We had halal food. So, you know,
Wow.
Big Brother did everything to make sure. And because I was a minority in that house, it's inspired the outside world to think, wow, Farida, she's a 50-year-old woman, she's gone in into the Big Brother house, and I suppose it's pretty, you know, inspirational to, you know, it's made people think, well, actually, she can do it, then we need to do you know what I mean?
You've inspired them.
Yeah, inspired them, exactly. So that is priceless.
Yes.
Especially when you're dealing with people that have struggled. I mean, this one girl, she's sending me all her pictures from her adventures that she's been on since, because she was literally anxious to leave the house. And now she's like, you've literally changed my mindset with just some of your words.
Powerful.
That is powerful.
Powerful, especially where mental health is such a big topic, and you're that personality that can help, you know, bring people out.
Yeah.
You can't really put a price on that, can you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Big Brother has actually done a really good job there then, getting a contestant like you on there.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
So although I, you know, went through some difficult moments because I felt like I was being ganged up on with, you know, what I'd call Kerry's army.
Kerry's army.
Yeah, because we had Kerry, and
Okay.
unfortunately,
Was she like a mother hen figure? Like she was like...
yeah, well,
some people
unfortunately,
looked up?
she's 10 years younger than me.
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't really understand what her issue was with me.
Maybe you
but-
look younger.
Pardon?
Maybe you look younger than her, you know?
No. But anyway, no, but what she was doing was she was planting a seed in one of the housemates, the younger housemate, she's only 18, are planting a seed in, like, for example, this person is fake or that person is fake, or she'd plant a seed and she would, like, say some not truthful things about a certain individual like myself, and then Hallie would go and spread it amongst her friends, her group, and then before you know it, I found myself in so many situations where I was feeling exhausted because I was constantly trying to prove myself that I'm not fake, I'm not, you know, I am just being authentic and real. You know, but unfortunately Kerry would turn on the waterworks every few seconds, the waterworks, or she'd have tantrums or whatever. And so the housemates kind of sided with her. So I was
sad.
It was really, really sad that
Why do you think, honestly, why do you think she was that way towards you?
Well, I'll be honest, I actually asked one of my other housemates that's very close to me, and Zach, he actually said, Farida, Kerry has a problem with Yimran, who's the Chinese girl, Trish, who's
seemed really good.
You know, a black girl. Then there was Noki, who's a black girl, Farida, who's Asian, and Zach, who's Thailand, yeah. So maybe the culture and the pigmentation, unfortunately, I don't know, because I thought maybe it was just, I know I'm a very strong character,
So
I
Kerry's
thought
racist.
maybe it was a power struggle, because she kind of, you know, she even in the diary room, she made it a thing, the fact that I'm a CEO of my own business. And what?
One of your things that you said on there went viral, didn't it?
Yeah, because
What can you say it? Repeat it for us
yeah.
again.
So I said to Kerry, that I do makeup tutorials and online, and I do hairstyling, makeup. I work with the travel and gypsy community, and my videos go viral.
And she goes, "What you?"
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she kind of, and this turned into what are they called, memes?
Yes, that people just want to use your audio
Yeah.
for their own video, and it starts trending. So it's
it's
your
like-
voice, and they're just going, "Yeah, my videos go viral. What yours? Yeah."
Get thousands and thousands of followers. Yeah. And Sean, can you just remind people the very first time you and I went live on our on a live stream?
Yeah.
What happened to your video?
Yeah, it went viral. It was on a split screen. I was in Canary Wharf. I was going to be ready to film my reels. And I thought, while I'm waiting for my cameraman, I'm going to go live. And you came on the live and you were like, "Yeah, Sean." You were actually like the podcast host to me that day. Because you was like, "Yeah, Sean, so I know who you are, but my audience don't." And I was like, "Yeah, so I'm somebody who's come from nothing, from, humble beginnings. And I've done this. And then I reposted the live and it just bloody hit 500,000 views or something, didn't it?
Exactly.
And I think, do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I think people respected seeing the diversity as well of me speaking, and then there's a lady in a hijab who's interviewing me as well, and it got people to go, "Hang on, I'm going to listen to the rest of this because it's got to be a respectable conversation, some value to it." Like, I think you bring that energy to it.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and this is what I was trying to say to Kerry, and Kerry was like, she pulled this face, and unfortunately, as if, I think people unfortunately do judge people when they, there is this stereotypical, I think sometimes people are shocked if you're an Asian woman, you wear a hijab, and you're a businesswoman, and you've gone places and done things. But this was the whole point of me going on Big Brother, was to inspire our future generation that actually you can still wear the headscarf, you will still get opportunities, you will still win, because God will bless you. And that's basically what's happened to me. I've come from humble beginnings, and God's blessed me every time.
We can see that.
Yeah.
We can see that. So look, I'm going to give you a quick little fire round now, and then we're going to move on from Big Brother. But before we move on from Big Brother, everybody wants to hear a few of these questions. What was your main strategy and game plan going into that Big Brother house?
So when I went into the Big Brother house, my main strategy was to inspire Muslim people. I didn't want to compromise my faith. So when I got approached, I made it very clear to the producers that there is no way I am compromising my faith. It's very important to me that I practice, so that other Muslims can see that even if you're a practicing Muslim, you can still have these opportunities. So it was about wearing, modest clothing and still getting these opportunities. It was about my business to get more exposure, because you can't. It's a marketing strategy. I've had my own business for 23 years, and I just want to set up doing the hair and makeup online, and I just felt that if I did the hair and makeup online, it would also give anybody that trains under me their training, their sort of what they've invested in, more weight.
So basically, you're helping your branding, how you've branded yourself. You're a TV personality, but you have this skill that which sheds a little bit of light of your 23 years of success and experience.
Yeah.
And then when somebody comes into your school or course, they go, "Well, I'm actually working with Farida, and everybody knows you from Big Brother and stuff." So they're going, "Oh, so you must be good then, because
Yeah.
she would, because you're proud of what you do."
Well, I mean, I'm not being funny, but the traveller and gypsy community, it's a hard market to get into, right? That should tell you that the quality of my work is tops. It's professional.
Top-notch.
Absolutely top notch, yes. Right? So I've got, and I used to teach for the colleges. So I've got all the, you know what I mean? But I've had loads and loads of clients that have constantly asking me, can I do hair and makeup training? I've done it before for them, but I just felt that if I was going to set up an online course, it would be better if I've got the background of she's done A, B, C, D as far as the TV goes.
Building your CV up. You know what I mean?
Building your profile,
Yes,
your CV, whatever you want to call it. It will give me more opportunities. While I've been on TikTok, I've had about 8 different casting directors that have approached me for various different TV shows.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? So
Well, you've really cracked that social media sort of side of things, so we're going to go deeper into that as well. Before I even move on to my next question, I want to ask you, did anyone ever do your makeup and you're like, she's doing that wrong, I would put this first and then do that, like concealer, or did you just enjoy the process?
yeah, to be honest, I was that exhausted. The producer actually did say to me, Farida, I don't think you'll want to get your makeup done because you're a makeup artist yourself. But however, I did actually thought, you know what, why not enjoy the actual celebrity lifestyle of getting it done, sit back, relax. And whilst having it done, I loved it. However, there was a few people that said to me, Farida, you do your makeup a lot better yourself.
Yeah.
I suppose you know your own face and that. I appreciated having it done.
Yeah.
But
So Big Brother tried to save on money trying to get you to do your own makeup.
No. They spoilt me. I can't. You know what? Big Brother, they really, really spoilt me.
Okay, well, next question. I'm going to quickly move on. Challenges and adversities. What were the biggest challenges and adversity in that Big Brother house?
Challenges constantly. I was being told that I was fake. There was a rumour going round that saying that, and then there was this thing that Kerry had said, you know me from my past experience,
Sure.
so you know what kind of a busy lifestyle that I generally have. Yeah.
You're always on the road, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Earlier than that. Usually
Yeah.
I'm at the clients at 6, starting at 6, so we're usually travelling at like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm doing an all-nighter, I know, with all the hair ups that, because Traveller girls, sometimes they book 10, 15 girls in one booking, for hair and makeup.
Wow.
So,
having to justify yourself to other people like Kerry.
No, I was just trying to explain to you that, like, when I was going into the Big Brother race, I was told right at the beginning that there's going to be a lot of downtime. So I thought I would try and, because I was the oldest there, I thought, let me just try and get, first thing in the morning, let's get all the group together and just have a little chat about people's skills so that we could keep each other busy during our downtime. So if there was one person, for example, Olivia's a brilliant dancer, so she could have run a dance class for us all and we could have all copied her.
Yeah.
That would have kept us entertained.
Yes.
Don't forget, there's no pens, there's no papers, there's no phones, there's no emails. I'm used to running a business, running around,
Busy.
going to the gym, you know what I mean? So I was really, really worried that I was going to be bored. However, unfortunately, they turned the narrative to what I was trying to say and they some of the housemates thought, oh, she's trying to control, she's trying to be bossy. One person, Hallie, even said that I called it an AGM meeting. So those words never, ever, ever. An AGM. Why would we have an annual general meeting? Why would we have one of them? Those words never, ever left my mouth.
So because you're sort of a leader, generally you wanted to organise and
just
go...
make sure that there's structure.
A little bit,
Yeah, and...
But people don't work like that.
Yeah, but the main thing is, for example, the cooking, right? Straight away, if you started to voice your opinion on the food, the shopping list, you'd be called controlling. Oh. So the minute you have an opinion or you're controlling, you're going to get nominated out.
Wow.
Unless your face fits, like Olivia. Olivia, a pretty little white girl, I hate to say it, but annoying, loud, but she fit that box.
Wow.
Blonde, beautiful, young, in that circle of 6 people.
She was quite loud.
Yeah, she was very,
She was
very
loud, had an opinion about everything.
Oh my God! You know, she's very lucky that she's actually made it to She was getting nominated. She's very, very lucky that her circle all left. She was able to calm down and prove her real, true self, because she was just performing constantly for the first week, like being rude, using bad language. It was a lot to deal with.
She was the princess in her house, she says, no?
Yeah, exactly.
She's got younger siblings,
but
lives with mum and dad.
Yeah, but then she'd got housemates like Kerry and Hallie that were edging her on, and you know, the best thing that happened was when they disappeared, Olivia ended up in a very vulnerable situation where she had to like find different friends and help herself to make new friends that. And then she was able to, like, we saw this new character, this new real person, the real Olivia. And I think she's got the potential to win now. And today's the final.
Wow.
Today is the
Okay, so
final.
your prediction?
We'll have to wait and see. I'm not saying anything. I've put in my votes. That's all I'm saying. I have put in my votes.
Okay.
But, so you were saying about the challenges. So that was the main thing that I found was I wasn't used to the backbiting. I wasn't used to the stirring. I wasn't used to people lying, people making up stories, and you constantly trying to defend yourself and say, I'm not being fake. I'm not playing up to the cameras. What are you on about?
Yeah.
I don't even care about the camera. Do you know what I mean? But they've made this story up just to keep them safe out of nominations. That was the hardest bit, but it served my purpose, what I set out to do. So as long as I met my targets.
Yeah. Was you okay being voted out first?
100%. Oh my God, I was so exhausted. Kerry actually made my experience a nightmare. When you're constantly, she'll run off. I mean, at one point, Trish told me off. What Kerry failed to tell her was she'd made up some of the story, and Trish told me off. When you watch the actual episode, you'll see where she's lied, and I can't be dealing with people that lie, twist stories, people that speak behind your back. I'm a very open, honest, true person. You know what I mean? That's what's got me further in life, because I've always been authentic, real, and trustworthy. Whereas being in the Big Brother house, they just
fake
backchat. They just backbite about each other. That's what it's about. And I can't be dealing with that. It's not good for my energy, you know.
Sad to hear that.
Yeah.
So who had the most alliances, or, you know, how did you manage like your relationships with people in there and align with certain people?
Yeah, I aligned with Chanel, who was a dentist, and she, you know, unfortunately, once me and Zach left, she ended up in a circle that didn't do her many favours. But she was lovely. She's a dentist. I mean, a nurse. Yeah, dentist. And then dentist nurse. And then we've got Matty, who's the junior doctor, who's lovely. And then we've got Zach, who's from the model from Thailand. And there was myself. So the four of us, that was my real circle and then I loved sort of teasing Jordan and telling him, I love you, Jordan. And he would be like, so I would be like, can we have a love you back? He would be, I'll think about it. I'll give you an answer tomorrow. I just adored him. It was just absolutely, honestly, he's actually mixed, half Asian.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He told me, yeah. But other than that, and then Yinren was lovely. She's from the Chinese background.
She had a big personality.
Noki was lovely. I didn't really see eye to eye with Trish, but we won't go there because I understand now. The tweets have explained everything to me.
Okay.
Everything. This might be the reason, but yeah. Other than that, yeah.
Can we speak about? Is it Yuran?
Yeah.
she's like somebody who is a total opposite from somebody like myself, maybe even yourself, because she doesn't take life seriously at all. I think she even said, what did the cheese say to the mirror? Yeah, what was it? Hello me. Hello me.
yeah.
Like it actually, her dry sense of humor really cracked me up, and I was like,
Yeah,
do you know what? She's such a carefree person.
Yeah,
It was
she's
actually
so
good to see.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But she said to me, you know, when I got nominated, she was like, Farida, how are you feeling? I was like, I'm absolutely fine. Oh, genuinely.
See you later.
Yeah, literally, run. Get out that door. I was like that. I was like, didn't even have time to say, give my boys. I just wanted to run.
Did you say bye to Kerry?
Right, no. Stop it. Stop it. So anyway, I couldn't wait to get out of there, honestly. What was I saying? Imran.
Yes.
And she said to me, she went, Farida, I'm not emotionally, I can't handle that, I would collapse. I was like, Imran, don't be silly. She was, you don't understand, I would collapse. I'm not strong like this. I was like, oh my gosh. No, you do have to be mentally strong. I think, like she said, she's discovered a lot about herself during the process.
That's what it is about. These experiences are to discover more, no?
Well, I'll be honest. Prior to me going in there, I was worried, you know, in how I showed up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I don't use foul language. My mum always brought us up never ever to swear, right? And I don't do the backbiting because it's something that's not accepted in Islam, and I try and live my life by the rules of Islam. Yeah, so it's being in that environment taught you a lot about yourself. For example, normally I don't wear a hat. I'd had these lovely nighties made with little bonnets, yeah, because obviously I was around men and I'm not really allowed to show my hair. And so there were some sacrifices that I had to make. But I was so pleased how it just went with the flow. I didn't even worry about not having my phone. I didn't worry about not working the business. I just kind of enjoyed the moment.
What about in terms of like the way you looked? Because some people can't leave the house without makeup, and you were just like, embraced the whole thing.
Oh, just be fresh faced. Who cares?
Come on.
Honestly, I'm really, really not bothered. What you see is what you get. End of.
Come on.
Do you know what I mean? I think
like
it's
that.
the best way. But I'm like that even in my day-to-day. Who's got time to put makeup on at 3 a.m. when I go out to work on clients?
But the issue is people always look from outwards. They care about what other people are thinking, not how they're feeling.
But I
know?
think that's dangerous when you look for validation. I don't need anybody's validation. I'm very confident, very comfortable in my skin.
I like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Tell me your most memorable moment or moments while there for that week.
My most memorable moment. Could you imagine? I mean, this studio is quite a big size, but double this size, right? Beds everywhere. Suddenly, you wake up and there's bright lights like a freaking disco. And suddenly you're like looking for your glasses to throw your glasses on so you can start clapping to the music and ready for the day. And that was nice. You know, I mean, I'd have got up earlier anyway at 5 o'clock because I like to do my prayers.
Yeah.
Right? Fajr prayers is really early. So I'd do that, but then I'd jump back into bed once I've done my prayers. But that was a really memorable moment where everybody was in their beds and suddenly Big Brother, this is Big Brother. Can all housemates get up? Yeah, that was a really, really memorable moment. You know, but just the house in itself, it's like, you know, like people, because I love creativity. I just loved the structure, the art, the creativity, the lighting, the whole build, you know how it was built, the themes.
I watched that this morning. It was it was like a big empty like warehouse, and they built the whole house within it the way they've done it all, and it was they sped it up.
Where did you watch
the Big Brother? It was on YouTube. I put it in YouTube and put Big Brother, and it was like this big warehouse, and they built the house in it, and they showed how they made
Yeah, well, I
the
didn't
rooms
even
and
realise
stuff.
that it's an actual studio.
It's a studio, yeah.
I didn't realise because
It's like Groundhog Day, or so, what is it? The Truman Show. Do you remember the Truman Show?
wow,
Like,
honestly, and just to sit in that diary room and speak to Big Brother, and I was so touched because I didn't take the Quran in with me. And the one day I said to Big Brother, I was like, Big Brother, I'm really, really missing not being able to, because you're not really allowed books in there, right? So I was like, Big Brother, I'm really missing not being able to pray my Quran. And within a day, they bought me 3 in the diary room.
Wow.
And I was just like, I started crying.
wow.
I was like, wow, you guys, honestly, you've just like,
And what does that do for you? So you had a few days without your religious book there, and then you've got your holy Quran there, and you've been able to read it, embrace it, feel it,
Yeah.
that energy. What does that do for you?
yeah, well, the thing was, I was doing my 5-time prayers on the prayer mat. However, I'm used to praying the Quran, especially the Yasin Sharif, which is the heart of the Quran Sharif. I'm used to praying that every day. So at first, I was like, oh, they might have alcohol and stuff. I don't know what the layout's going to be. I don't want to take my Quran in that environment. But then when I got there, I realised it was just such a brand new building. Everything was just so beautiful. Everything was clean. We had our own lockers, and the housemates were so respectful in so many ways. So I felt like I could reach out to Big Brother at that point, and Big Brother was like, that's fine, we'll get you on. And it wasn't aired, but I did actually pray it. And at that moment, it just touched me so much. It just gives me a lot of inner peace,
Love that.
I've had a very, very tough childhood, and it's my faith that actually pulled me through all the trauma that I faced.
So if anyone's going through a tough time out there, they need to still have faith.
100%. Meditate. For me, I worship God. Some people worship the sun, the moon, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Meditate.
Yeah. Love that. Is there any insights or any advice you would give a future housemate? So somebody, imagine someone's going in next season now, or a year's time. I don't know how they do it, but they're going in and they don't know what to expect. What advice would you give that person?
Yeah. First of all, it's a very long process. You've got there's medical on board, there's a welfare team on board, there's the producers, the casting, they're all so wonderful, the casting crew, oh my God, producers, executives, they're just wonderful. But remember that even though you're going through the process, you will not know till about 3 weeks before you're actually walking into the house.
Wow. And so that means, like, even if you have a job, you might have to quit your job for it.
So you do get paid while you're in the house.
Okay, is it a lot of money?
It's not extortionate, but it's a wage.
Oh,
okay.
A wage.
And you just be mindful that no matter how much you're going through the process, and no matter even if you have been scouted, you've got to stay authentic, true to yourself. Be as authentic. Be as true authenticity is what they love. The producers do, because they said to me, Farida, as soon as we met you, we just knew we'd got a housemate. There was something about you we just knew.
Yeah.
And I never ever stressed, worried. I just went with the flow. Go with the flow, but just be mindful. No matter how many boxes you tick, it is only about 3 weeks prior to you actually going in the house, they will tell you that they've chose you as a housemate. So it can make you feel quite. I keep myself busy, so I didn't really give it much thought. However, it could, for some people, make them very anxious, not knowing, am I in? Am I not? Am I in? Am I going to be in? Am I one of the house? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, I get you. Anything behind the scenes or anything that was untold that we might have missed?
Behind the scenes.
Or maybe something the captures didn't
yeah, I'll be honest. Something that I behind the scenes I thought was like when you have to be put in hiding, okay, and you're not allowed to have it. Just preps you. So you're not allowed your phone, you're not allowed, they put everything away in lockers and it's all highly secured and everything. And even when you go in, like when you go in the black cars, you have to, and if you need the portaloos, they put like this big black umbrella over you that covers you like a black sack to move you from one place to the next.
Wow.
Just so that the housemates can't get view of each other. Wow. And they even change your name.
What? So what was your name?
Fruit Pastel.
Fruit Pastel. Wow.
I loved it.
Wow, that was like CID, mate.
Because you've got a chaperone that's attached to you.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So the chaperone, when they're communicating, each other's chaperones, because all housemates have somebody looking after them, staying with them, yeah, they speak to each other with the special names that they've made for you.
Wow.
So it doesn't leak out because there's a lot of press interest, a lot of media interest.
Wow. So where is this part you're telling me? When you leave the house or when you're coming in or what during the stay?
So right at the beginning, 3 days prior to actually going in the Big Brother house, you have to stay in a secret location.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. To prep you.
That's some James Bond shit, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Curtains drawn from the paparazzi. It's crazy. Honestly, no TV, no phones, everything's... You're not even allowed to listen to the radio in the cars. They even put these big muffs on your ears. It's crazy.
Bloody hell, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly, must have been a weird feeling. Like, do you know where you were? Like, in terms of...
Well, no. I've got no idea where that hotel was.
Wow.
It's crazy. I mean, my husband dropped me off, but ask me now where I was. I've got no idea. And then you move from one location to another, on day 3, and then so it's all very, very high security, and yeah.
If you saw Kerry right now, what would you say to her?
Well, I'll probably see her tonight.
Oh.
Keep her at arm's length.
Maybe she's Googled you by now and going, oh, you are a TikTok star.
Well, she's becoming one now.
Oh,
she's been live streaming nearly every... Oh, no. Let's not think about it. Let's stay focused on our, goals and targets.
So let's talk about social media, because you've been on social media for quite some time. You're a big TikTok celebrity. You do your lives. You get thousands of people on there. You've been on Blankety Blank. You've been on Come Dine With Me. You've... there's the Late Live show the other night. Like... How have you been able to crack this industry to get yourself out there? Because you could have been just a nobody, someone from up north who just does a bit of hair and makeup, but you've obviously got some sort of blueprint.
By the way, I am up north.
Yeah.
We did, us girls up north crack it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Not just you, Southern. He's a southerner.
Listen, we love everybody, all right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's absolutely crazy, because I did Come Dine With Me in 2009. And then I always looked at different ways of marketing my business. Like at one point I used to contact the colleges, and it's all about getting some professional pictures. So I'd contact the universities, colleges, and do some photo shoots with students, just so that at the back end of it I could get some professional images for my and we'd do like a photo shoot. So I've always looked at different ways of marketing my business. And TV, you just can't, the exposure that you get is incredible.
How do I get on TV?
For some reason I just seem to get, I don't know, like when I did hair, makeup, henna, nails, the lot I used to do when I first set up the business. But then when I got spotted by the Traveller and Gypsy community, I decided I used to work in health and social care. I decided to stop doing that and concentrate because suddenly I tapped into a very big market, and the travelling gypsy community, they're in alignment with the kind of work that I enjoyed doing. That made me stand out from the average hair and makeup artist that worked alongside me because I was doing something different. Everybody was like, oh my God, Farida works with the travellers and gypsies. So it kind of made me stand out. So the quality of my work was exactly the same when I was working with the Asian community. But when I started working with the traveller and gypsy community, their clothing made me, you know, appear more appealing. And for some reason, the media absolutely loved the traveller and gypsy community. Right. So, it just, and then because I started to do live streams on TikTok,
Because even before TikTok, you were a Facebook star, weren't you?
Yeah.
Because Facebook was trending before
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
But you've got that ability to reinvent yourself every time there's a new platform, and you're able to crack the platform because not everyone can crack it.
Yeah, that's right. That is absolutely right. And I think there's people that were absolutely shocked because they were like, how is it that Farida, you know, like I came on, it was my clients that were like, Farida, please open a TikTok account. Because it's quite hard when you're trying to, you know, run Instagram, Facebook, and all the different platforms, and you've got clients to work on, and you know, and my clients were like, TikTok is the place to be. TikTok is the place to be. So I listened to them because that's really important, listening to your clients, and before you know it, obviously, you know, live streaming was something that I used to do before. So it was just like, you know, moving my skill set onto a different platform, and people just tend to engage. And what I didn't realise is there's a lot of casting directors, casting agents that are on social media looking for talent.
Wow.
So I would get approached by various different, you know, agents, casting agents, asking me if I would be interested in this TV show, that TV show, that TV show. And so it's always, so, you know, and then it's about your delivery now. The creative director of Big Brother actually came over to me and said, Farida, because you was on TV, you did so well in that week. You know, I think their views were really high. Yeah. Just because I was on the box. So it's also about making sure that you deliver, you get results with your delivery. So because I've delivered, now that can be proved to other casting directors. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of a snowball effect. How you know, for example, when I was the first evictee, I was like, I'm going to make sure I turn those boos, if there's any, into frigging loves. Yeah. You know, and I made sure that I was conscious that it's the first time in 5 years that Big Brother's come out. I'm the first evictee to leave. It's a legendary moment. I want to shine on that dance floor, and I made sure I showed up. You know, I mean, I don't know whether you watched me on that evictee, but it's awesome. I look at it even now and think, wow, what a beautiful moment. My sister was like, I got all confused. I thought you'd won. I'm like, I was like,
you celebrated it.
I am celebrating. I'm always a winner, me. I'm always a winner.
Come on.
You know, whether you come first, second, 30,000 applicants. And I was one of 16 that chose to go in that house. I think that's called winning.
I like the fact that you appreciate all of the small things, not just, hey, I've gotten here and I've been booted out, now I've got mental health, why was I the first one? Rather than concentrating on things like that, you're like, hey, this many people applied, I got scouted, spotted, got made to apply. You've appreciated all the goodness in that part of that journey.
Absolutely. And you know, like, because I got scouted out, because I got evicted first, I've been able to be part of the Late and Live show. Yes. So much more than somebody. I had that dance floor. It was like a dance floor because I was jumping up and down like a But
Yes, that's what you were doing. They started it, and you were doing your little dance. And they were like, "You can sit down now." Like you were like, "No, it's my stage."
but
Loved it.
Honestly, it was it was so beautiful when I look at that video. It's just priceless.
You're really confident, though.
Pardon?
You're really confident. It's like there was a studio full of people there, and you're there just standing, dancing by yourself. You wasn't like there's people looking at me, people laughing at you. You're just confident. Where does that come from?
I don't know. I just love enjoying the moment. Live each day like it's your last, and just enjoy, embrace, appreciate every moment. Yeah.
So what's made Farida? Talk to me about your childhood and growing up. Where did you grow up? How many siblings did you have? And, what were your parents doing at the time?
Yeah, well, my childhood, this is where my appreciation stems from, to be honest. That's why I'm just so appreciated, because I had quite a tough childhood.
What does that mean?
Oh, God, the trauma. Oh, God. Yeah, so basically, like my first 5 years of my life, brought up in a home, my dad went to work, he was a barber, he also worked in a factory, and that was cool. I grew up as a daddy's girl, and and I loved life, I was a real daddy's girl. And then my parents decided to invest in a meat shop, which had a grocery, and I used to help my mum and dad, from a very young age. I'd created a little tuck shop within the shop, which was lovely. I'd take things to school and sell them at school, and it was a great time for me. But unfortunately, their marriage started having cracks that had a knock-on effect on me and my siblings. And eventually the business had to go. Although I would say that's where my business mindset comes from, because my mum and dad were both business people.
Where were they from?
Originally,
Yes.
India.
Both of them, yeah?
Yeah. Although we do have Kenyan roots as well.
Wow.
Like my granddad is buried in Nairobi. One of my uncles is buried in Mombasa. Some of my aunties and uncles are born in Kenya. You know what I mean? So we've got African roots as well. But my ancestral history is India. Right. Yeah. So Gujarati Muslim is my background. Yeah. So unfortunately, once we had this shop, their marriage started to have problems, and eventually they did actually get divorced. The shop went, and we found ourselves homeless.
Wow.
And
homeless, like with your mum or your dad?
With my mum. Right. And with me and my siblings. There's 2 brothers and 1 sister, and we found ourselves homeless. But this was the time, and the thing was, when we had the shop, culturally, my sister was living at my uncle's house. I was living at my other uncle's house. My sister was living at my mama's house, and I was living at my chacha's house, and my brothers were with my parents. So we were all like sort of split up, because parents were too focused in the business. But eventually, once their marriage came to an end, and we ended up sort of homeless, and then literally, mum and dad sold the shop. I was like 14 years old. No, 12 years old when mum and dad split up. And within 2 years of them splitting up, there was lots of other things that had happened in the family. We were like basically the talk of the community.
Right.
Do you know how that feels? Her parents, because it was frowned upon in those days to have parents that have split up. And and then 2 years later, my dad died, and that was really, really hard. And then
how old was you?
I was 14, and that was really, really hard. But eventually, the council gave us the property, and we moved into the council property. Mum was really, really embarrassed. She'd say to my nanny, "Please don't bring anybody to our home." Do you know what I mean? And because she was embarrassed, we had to like literally eat broth. We had to like get the sticks and heat the hot water up, you know, to coal in the fires. And it was a really, really difficult time. We'd put plastic on the windows to get the heat, you know, to stop the heat, the draft coming in. And oh, when I just think about our childhood, so from a very, very young age, me and my siblings were all about sticking together. We helped each other get through some education. I mean, initially I left school with 0 qualifications because I was too traumatised by by the dynamics in the family. Left school, and when I got to about 18, that's when I decided to put my head down and start going to college and start getting some qualifications. And then I just kind of was tired of constantly being pointed at from the community. The family was all getting frowned upon, and I was totally exhausted by that. Once I went to college and qualified as a nursery nurse, this was the time when I decided to go abroad and work as a holiday rep, and and just escape this country. Escape the community, really. And looking back now, I realise it was a form of therapy for me, because that's where I built my confidence. I learned a lot about me, because I became a holiday rep in Spain.
And there was no one there to judge you, who knew you and knew your past and was maybe that from the same background to say you're different, and you discovered yourself.
Exactly. And it really did feel like like you can't beat some sun and some sea and a little bit of partying. Of course, you've got to get the praying in as well, but it was a good balance. And the people that I was like sort of friends, the team, that we all become family. When you're reps that go from the UK, you all become like family to each other, and you kind of look out for each other. So it just made me feel very, very secure, and that's where I had my biggest growth. Like, for example, I would run welcome parties where the holiday makers would come out, and I would have to like talk to the audience. They were the holiday makers. Tell them about the resort, tell them about the children's pop mini discos, tell them about the activities that we're doing, tell them about their hotel, what's available in the resort, what excursions are available. And that's where, like they say, the more you make yourself uncomfortable, that's where you'll get your biggest growth. And that's basically what happened to me. So I'll come back from abroad after spending 2 years in Spain, a tough cookie. And I just kept growing and growing, and
So when you came back, did people again frown on you and go, right, she's become different?
Because at this point then I'd experienced an independent lifestyle. So suddenly I wanted my own property.
Right, okay.
I didn't no longer want to live with mommy and brothers and sisters, because I was like, well, if I want to come in and out of the house my time, because culturally, any South Asian person in my time, there were very strict rules about staying indoors. You only left the house with your mum and dad, or went to town with your mum and dad. Do you know what I mean? So suddenly I'd lived abroad. I was used to coming and going when I wanted, and I felt that it was disrespectful to my mum if I wanted still to have that lifestyle. So one day I just sort of said to my mum, I need my own place. And so eventually I just got my own. Mum was like, it's going to be hard. It's not easy living on your own. And I was like, well, I'll worry about the hurdle when it happens, but I need to move out because I don't want to be seen as disrespecting your rules. Because if I'm staying under your rules, then I need to understand that I've got to be in the house at a very reasonable time, or, so I moved out and became the talk of the community again.
Right. Okay.
So I was doing everything to make sure that I became the talk of the community. It was like all the aunties and uncles stay well clear of Farida Khalifa.
It's like BBC News, mate.
Stay clear of her. She's too independent. She's dangerous. She'll guide you the wrong way.
Did you feel that there was something within you that you had to prove to maybe the community? Do you think that maybe some of them experiences still go in your head and go, oh, I'm going to get on this show, get on that show. I'm like a part of you
I
is
don't,
proving.
to be honest, I don't need to prove myself to the community. I've always lived my best life on my terms. And when people say to me, how come you're always so happy, Farida? Because, you know why? Because I really don't care about other opinions. Other people's opinions really don't matter. While I pay my bills, the only person that I worry and that concerns me is my Lord. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? So as long as I'm true to God, I really don't care. Other people's opinions, I don't need the validation. So anything that I've done it because, yes, I've said to my Mommy, I'm thinking of doing this and I'm thinking of doing that. And my mum's always given her blessings. And she's been really, I mean, when she's looked at my whole journey, she's been so proud of me, you know. I mean, initially, my mum told me not to even start a business because of her experiences.
Right.
Yeah. But I went against the rules and I was like, no, I'm still going to do it, but I've still got a backup contingency plan. I've still got my hair and I'm still a nursery nurse. I've still got the educational background. I've still got the health and social care background. That's my contingency plan. So it doesn't matter even, do you know what I mean?
So tell us about some of your first jobs.
Oh, so jobs. I've worked as selling kitchens, Deluso kitchens.
Wow.
Right, telesales. In the olden days, you used to get the yellow pages out and you'd have to go down the list and you'd just do cold calling. I've done, worked at Great British Burger for 4 years when I was 16 years old as a waitress.
Okay.
I absolutely loved it and I would really look forward to my 50p tips. I'd always serve the fish and chips to the old ladies and they'd give me a 50p tip. But I loved it there, honestly. You know, like I say, don't knock these jobs because this is what makes you, especially if you graft from a young age, you're winning.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've worked, So then I qualified as a nursery nurse and I worked at Bilson College in the day nursery with children. Then I covered lots of schools as part of my placements, hospital placements as well. I've worked at Travelodge on the call centre. I've worked for the NHS supporting the health visitors on the community, doing postnatal, then I've worked in special needs schools. I've worked with children in care, health and social care, as a senior residential care officer in an assessment and referral home. I've worked in secure units. I've worked abroad as a holiday rep. So
that's quite a CV.
Yeah, my CV is pretty colourful, and then I've got all these TV opportunities as well. You know,
when did you choose the entrepreneurial sort of route?
In the year 2000, October the 1st, 2000 was when the business was registered. Princess Trust gave me funding.
How did you get Princess Trust funding?
Basically, I went to a salon to get my hair to have some beauty treatment done, and there was a photographer there. Shout out to Parminder, and he basically I was sitting there doodling on my hand with a cone of henna, and he said to me, he was like, Farida. He looked at the henna design, what I would call a doodle. But I have to admit, I am very creative and I am very good at it. Credit where it's due, but God gifted me, and so I was just doodling on my hand and he came over. He was the photographer that had come to that salon to do some work, and he goes, Farida, do you realise you could earn some serious money doing that? And I was like, really? I was like, well, I work for the NHS at the moment, but I don't have extra funds to be setting up a business. And he goes, do you know there's an organisation called the Princess Trust that will give you funding? I was like, really? He gave me his business card and he said, give me a call, I will help you make your business plan and we'll put a proposal forward to the Princess Trust.
Wow.
A random man, just from the goodness of his heart.
Wow.
So sure enough, I was I wouldn't leave him alone. I literally, and he helped me write my financial forecast, my business plan. He helped me, guided me, and within like weeks, we were putting a proposal forward to the Prince's Trust. And it just snowballed from there. And before you know it, I'm in the Prince's Trust booklet. They've given me a mentor. They've given me the funding. I've been on one of their mini courses to give us some guidance. And it just sort of snowballed. And the thing is, when you use an organisation like the Prince's Trust, it makes you more accountable. Because you've used their funds, you've got to prove that you are going to make it a success. And not only that, but they would have stands in place like the Manda Centre, and they gave me the free stands. Do you know what I mean? So that I could be marketing my stuff, my business, marketing my business through their organisation.
Wow.
So yeah, it just kind of snowballed from that.
How much was that grant?
In those days, it was £2,000, which was a grant. A loan. Technically, it's a loan, and they gave me a £250 test market grant, which is basically money that I didn't have to give back. The test market grant was £250, which I used for like creating business cards and flyers and testing the market. So I'd go around all the different boutiques and shops, and there was this one boutique who, you know, knew us from like my childhood, and they were like, Farida, we will get you the business, let's go halves on the money. I was like, that's absolutely fine, we'll go 50-50. And I was doing the grafting and they were taking a commission, which I hadn't got a problem with, because I'm like, well, you've got the expenditure of your shop front, and it's understanding that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it's just gone from strength to strength, the business has.
But there also has got to be some certain traits with your personality for people to approach you as well. For someone to say, like Parminder, to be there, and he must have seen something that you know.
Well, he always said to me, he had been a photographer for 15 years, and he said to me, there's something very, very special about you. You're a different calibre. But I remember him saying those words to me. Well, I don't know. Everywhere I go, people are like magnets.
He's
They're
watching
like,
you on Big Brother now, mate. 20 years on, he's like, I knew it. Took me 23 years just to put my finger on it.
Sean, 3 weeks in a row, I was on TV. I literally did. I knew I was coming on Blankety Blank.
Yeah.
And then the week after, it was getting reviewed because of my such silly answers on Blankety Blank. Coincidentally, then it gets reviewed on Gogglebox. Blankety Blank does. Then I ended up on Big Brother on week 3, and then that's got reviewed. And now I'm on tons of articles. You only need to put
Late live show.
Yeah.
The Sun.
Honestly, if you saw all the newspaper articles, you'd be shocked online. I'm like, every day somebody's sending me something. I'm like, oh my God, is this the celebrity lifestyle? The showbiz? Whatever, I'll embrace it.
What would you like to be on?
What?
If you had something to do on TV and there was a role for you, what would you
You know what?
prefer?
Funny you say that. Years ago, when I was in my 20s, can you remember Blue Peter?
Yeah.
I actually made a little video and sent it off when I come back from. I could imagine, I made these biscuits and put some icing on it and made some smiley faces with sweets and sort of activities that I used to do as a children's rep when I worked abroad. And I turned it into, so anything like, I love presenting. I'd love to do a children's show. I'd love to do a pantomime. Yeah, you know what? Let's just see. I mean, I've had a lot of different opportunities. I've even had Netflix casting crew that have approached me about creating a documentary. Oh my God, there are so many different shows people have approached me about. Let's just see you have to be a bit selective. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the social media. How are you able to get 50,000 views minimum sort of regularly, like, to hundreds of thousands? How does that happen? Like, you must know how to stop and capture that audience rather than because people are just scrolling.
Yeah, well, funny you say that, because one of my friends said to me, well, she's actually one of my moderators, she said, Farida, even way before I became a mod for you on TikTok, she said, I used to literally save your live streams off Facebook. I would not miss one. You are the type of person I just love watching and listening to, and even your makeup tutorials that you used to do on Facebook, I would save them and I would watch them and watch them and watch them. I don't know. I mean, I just like to keep it real, keep it authentic, keep it, I don't really feed into trolls' behaviours. I try and keep it positive. I don't like, for example, bringing other people's dramas onto my platform. I do have, like, when I'm going live, I've got a structure in place. Right. Like, for example, if one day I'm thinking, right, today we're going to do a cooking video and this is the outcome that I want from it, or today I'm going to do a makeup tutorial, I want to be able to sell X, Y, and Z. And I suppose, because I've lived quite a, dare I say, an interesting life, I've always got lots to share with, and reality. People love the reality and authenticity. And like my videos, when I do the travelling gypsy clients, I never ever put filters. What you see is what you get. I don't do take 1 and take 2 and take 3 videos. Honestly, I don't have time for it. And for some reason, it just connects. And lots of people tell me that I'm funny. I don't even know what I do, but people do say. So just keep being me. That's what the producer said. He said, Farida, as soon as I saw you, I knew I had a housemate. He said, this is what we love about you. Just keep being you.
Mic drop. Boom.
Yeah, and I suppose that's what gets the views. You know what I mean? Like, I am mindful, like I do, it is about serving your audience as well. Listening to them.
Giving them that little bit of value.
Giving them, yes, value. And delivering it. If you say you're going to do something, make sure you really, really excel. Be a perfectionist.
Because in the past, you've told me, Sean, like, you've got on the blog and go, you better be careful with this person, like, because there's certain people who come on social media, use their platform, sell you a dream. Yeah, and then they could very easily spoil your brand.
Yes.
And you're quite overprotective with
very,
people who you really like.
You can imagine, honestly, on the back end of being on Big Brother, the amount of WhatsApp groups. If I showed you my phone at the moment, I've had to get I've got 2 phones, okay? And oh my word, the amount of people that have asked me to get onto a podcast with them. And I'm very, very careful about who I use my time with, who I associate with.
Yeah.
And even in my exit interview, I made it very clear there were some people in that house. I don't mean to be like, but it's just about such protecting my energy, protecting my brand, protecting who I'm about, the opportunities. Now, when I see you as a businessman. You're not just a podcaster. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with just being a podcaster, but you're in an alignment with me because I'm a makeup artist. I'm a businesswoman. There's so many different layers to me. And so when I connect with other people, I want to make sure I connect with the same kind of people that are in alignment with me.
Yeah.
And that goes for everything in life. For example, when I work with the traveller community, they're my best clientele, the travellers and the gypsies, because even more than my Asian community. Well, a lot of the travellers originate from India, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, but the alignment, it's aligning yourself with certain individuals that build you and don't break you. You have to be really careful.
Sometimes you go wrong in life because you meet the wrong people.
Yeah.
And you're in the wrong circles. Sometimes, how do you make sure that your environment doesn't dictate who you end up being if it's the wrong environment
Well,
for
you
you?
keep your circle really small. It's as simple as that. I could count on one hand who are classed as my best friends. Honestly, I've got one real, true best friend. And she's been part of my world from when we went to college to become holiday reps, and we went through life's journey from when we were like 17, 18 years old right till now we're both 50.
Yeah.
But other than that, I keep my circle so tight, so small, because a lot of the times when people, it's usually for their own benefit. So you need to question, okay, what do you bring to the table? Oh, I'm bringing this, and what do you bring to the table? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. There'll be a lot of people who are jealous of you as well.
Well, that's why I always pray. You've got to keep evil eyes real, and you've got to keep yourself protected. It's so important. And another thing that I don't believe in is, like, for example, I don't flaunt my personal life, as in my family, my husband, all over social media. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
For me, my business, it's my business page. That's it. It sells hair and makeup repeatedly. I've got a TikTok shop. Other than that, jealousy is real. Sometimes it can come from a good place, and it's envy, and people want to be. They forget the journey that you've been on to get where you are. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And how much energy, time, how much money you've put into marketing.
Of course.
I mean, I've paid for spreads in magazines that have cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
course.
And then I've had times when I've tried to give young girls an opportunity, and then they've gone behind my back and they've teamed up and tried to poach on your clients.
It's not nice.
It's not nice. But those kind of people, you don't gain anything in the long run, because business is ultimately about building trust. When you've built that kind of trust, it's priceless. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's pure basics.
Yeah. So it's happened to me numerous times where girls have reached out. Oh, Farida, can I help you with hair? Can I help you with the makeup? Can I help you? And then before you turn your back, before you know it, they've gone behind your back and teamed up with one of the other girls that you've kind of introduced as well. And so now I just concentrate on going out and doing the work myself, and my husband does all the driving, so we can spend some wonderful times together. And it's great. He does a big part of the workload, as in helps create the padding, goes out to the warehouse, stocks up all the stock. He's my biggest strength, my biggest supporter. So now I just sort of, it's really important as well that you don't chase the pound. I want to, like, for example, when I go out to do hair and makeup, I want to keep the numbers just so that you can enjoy the work.
What do you think the difference was where your parents had a meat shop and done a business together and it broke them? And you're doing your hair and makeup and you're doing that together with your partner, and it's actually making the bond stronger.
Basically it was a marriage of convenience. Let's just put it that way.
Sorry, who had the marriage of convenience?
Me and my husband had a love marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. My parents' marriage was a marriage of convenience.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
So basically, my mum held the passport, and my dad, their marriage was never ever going to work ever.
So what do you feel?
and when you've got a business, like now that I know the history of my mum and dad's marriage, I totally understand why it would never, ever, ever work. Yeah. But when you're in business, you've got to be a very, very strong. You've got to work together. They weren't working together. You've got to literally be each other's support. Like me and my husband are literally each other's support. My husband doesn't mind if I come out and, the fact that I did Big Brother, most men would be like, he was my biggest supporter. He's the one who encouraged me to do it. I was like, no, babes, I'm going to miss you. He was like, it's okay, I can watch you on TV every day. But trust me, when I come back, it was like, babes, I didn't think it was going to be that hard. I missed you too much.
I was hugging the TV every time I saw you.
Yeah, I was sleeping with the TV. I thought that was my pillow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
it. Yeah, unfortunately, with my mum and dad, that was just a marriage of convenience. The parents were... it was like the parents had decided. My mum and my parents, in our religion, you can marry as family. So my grandparents were brothers and sisters, like my dad's mum and my dad's dad. No, my mum's dad and my dad's mum. Do you get that? Were brothers and sisters. So they had already made an agreement that their children were going to get married.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But unfortunately, it was more my mum had a passport and my dad kind of pounced on the opportunity.
Right.
But it was kind of a loveless marriage.
Right. Okay.
It is what it is.
Did they try and make it work?
For 16... How old was my big brother when my dad died? I think they tried for 16 years. But it was looking back, I wish they'd got divorced earlier because
Really?
it's soul destroying for the children. I think it's the wrong reasons. Staying married for the sake of your children and for the sake of what the community will say is not the right way. All we did was we flourished even more once they split up, because it's a horrible environment to live in when adults aren't either talking properly or it's not a happy, comfortable environment. Can you imagine it day in, day out, sometimes silence can be the worst thing. Or unfortunately my dad would bugger off to India for like how many weeks? 6 weeks? 8 weeks? Leave mother with the bills.
Wow.
It is what it is, but
So
it's part of my story, and it helps me appreciate, for example, my marriage.
What do you look for in a partner? So there's a lot of people nowadays, like, the world has become a very, very different place to how it was. Guys are different, women are different as well. Some women just want a rich guy, a guy with money, and some guys want some cooperation from women, and it's like more competition with each other. Who can earn the most money, or who's got the better
terrible,
job,
isn't
and how the household, rather than going, well, I like you for these attributes and you're gonna like this about me, and let's work together. I don't know if you've seen some of these random podcasts, like with maybe even Andrew Tate sort of being there, but it shows like a lady goes, I just need a rich man, and I wouldn't date a guy from sort of McDonald's or something like that. And then the podcast host was just like, well, why can a guy date a girl from McDonald's then? Why is it two different rules? Why can he bring a girl up, but you couldn't bring a guy up? Like,
yeah.
Obviously,
to be honest, myself, I was really, really scared of marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't get married till I was 43 years old. And initially, when my husband approached me 2 years before, I told him to do one.
Wow.
Literally, he spotted me on social media, and I was like, put your energy into, is that what you do? I received this text message, and I was like, is that what you do? Tell random girl that you like her? Put your energy into praying. And I kind of, said, Toba astaghfirullah, which basically means, in God, how dare you? That's disgraceful. Sending random girl a message. And 2 years later, so that was it. I didn't hear from him, nothing. And then 2 years later, I get a text message with a picture of a ring saying, I've been praying to God for the last 2 years that one day I'll marry you.
Wow, that's so romantic.
I know, it's so cute. It really is, bless him. And I didn't know it was the same guy.
Wow.
And then it was the month of Ramadan. And normally in the month of Ramadan, if you're a bloke and you try to ring me, this is my time with my God.
Yeah.
Do not disturb my peace,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And he approached me. No, he'd sent me this message. And then I was like, wow, I wonder who this is. This is like a random picture of a ring asking me to get married. So I decided to contact him. And he just blew me away. He was just so kind and so like gently spoken and so like respectful. And then I was like, well, it's the month of Ramadan, so you know you're going to have to wait till after Ramadan when we can meet up. And we met up. I spoke to my mum about it, and we met up, and I just couldn't believe how kind he was.
So how long did you get to know him? Because
Within months we were married.
wow.
And he's my soulmate, we're best mates.
Wow.
Yeah, I nearly missed out on an opportunity though. I did tell him to do 1-2 years before.
Wow. So it was
And
really
it was
meant
when
to
I
be.
met him, he was like, okay, can you remember when I sent you a text message? I was like, what? That was you? I remember grabbing the phone and just throwing it on my bed.
Wow.
Oh my God. Yeah, oh God. And then, you know, he was just so like, there was no emotional games. There was none of this. You know, he couldn't get enough of me. He literally, any opportunity, can I come and see you? Can I come and see you? Can I come and see you? So I was like, you know what? We just need to make it halal, you know, have our blessing done and go with the flow. And my mum, he met my mum. He was a bag of nerves when he met my mum. He was shaking, the sweat was pouring off him. It was hilarious. There's me, I was like, don't worry, you'll be fine. And my mum absolutely adored him. He's so respectful.
Wow.
That's what you want to find in a man and equally a woman, because I said to Araz, I was like, babes, what was it about me that you were so drawn to? And he said, Farida, you're so respectful. And I think that's all I was looking for. I didn't care about his wealth. Because I'd got my own wealth. I didn't care about whether he had a property. I've got my own property. I've got my own business. You know, all I wanted was somebody that respected me. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, as it happens, God blessed me with more than what I imagined. Right, much more than I imagined. Sometimes it brings tears to my eyes when I think about the humble background, that, you know, the trauma, the poverty and everything else that I came from. And to think that, no, he didn't marry me for my passport because he already had a British passport. Mm-hmm. He was actually a lot younger than me. He just fell in love with Farida Khalifa.
Wow.
And he always calls me his number one.
Wow.
It's great, honestly. It's just, yeah. It took me 43 years. I was never ever envious of anybody else's marriage, or I just enjoyed life and thought, you know what, when God brings the right man towards me, you know, we just appreciate each other, tell each other we love each other every day. And yeah. So I would just say, it makes me sad when I see young girls so driven by, they worry, they're so concerned that he's got to have this, he's got to have that, he's got to have that. And I think those sort of pressures are so sad. They forget the real beauty of a marriage and a relationship. Do you know what I mean? They're so focused on the material aspects.
Mm-hmm. How important is looks?
Oh, very important. You've got to be attracted to him. I nearly had him for breakfast. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
Saying I'm very important. The attraction's got to be there. I'm sorry. That's so it was like, make your nikah. Just make it legal. Get waiting. You can have a party later. Yeah, no, yeah. I think it's really important that you're attracted to each other. The chemistry, that you bounce off each other. You don't suppress each other. You give each other the opportunity to excel. Like what I remember when when I met my hubby, I was doing a TV show abroad. There was one of the TV shows that approached me, and we were making a reality TV show in Corfu. And I said to my hubby, I was like, babes, if this comes through, I might have to go abroad for so many years. So many months. And he was like, that's fine, I'll come with you. And that's the kind of support you want. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I remember when I was younger, there was this constant thing about men expecting their women to wear a hijab. There's too many. Instead of just letting the journey unfold itself, there's a lot of men that would dictate to the women, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't. If you just both had a level of respect for each other from day one, you wouldn't need to dictate to each other. You should just be mindful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean. What do you think the main reason is that, a lot of marriages are not working at the moment?
I wouldn't say at the moment. I think marriages, they didn't work before. Some work now, some don't work. Sometimes it's maturity. Sometimes it's, some of the, I don't know. Social media, I think, has a lot to play with it as well.
How do you treat social media? Some people are just scrolling, looking for the next high, etc. How do you treat it? What do you use social media for?
Oh, just really for social media is for my business. To interact, to gain followers. I use it for my TikTok shop, to make sales, to use it as a marketing tool, to network with other business people, get opportunities from TV casting crews. Oh my God, social media. Like you can sell stuff online, like courses. This social media is just incredible.
So you've got all this attention now, and I'm just mindful of our time that we've got left. But you've got all of this social media attention now, obviously to raise your brand and the awareness. Where are you going now, Farida? What do you have for your audience? What do you have for people who love you?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I went on social media and I had about 2,000 people watching my live stream. And I was like, whoa, and 45,000 views.
Wow.
Prior to me doing Big Brother, we were getting about 4,000 views and about 200-300 people on the live stream. So you can see how much. And then I'd get loads of people, just recently when I live stream, loads of people in the box wanting to request and just ask lots of questions. Sometimes it would be Big Brother related, sometimes it would be business related, sometimes it would be, So, I want to concentrate on setting up the hairstyling online course, maybe the makeup tutorial courses as well. So that, anyone that does the training, they've got more weight because they'll be saying that it's Farida Khalifa from Big Brother, who we've learned the hair and makeup from. I would be able to guide them in business as to how to make a successful business, from, writing your business plan to using social media to, getting all the brand deals and all this. So, to be honest, I will be using social media just the way I used it before, but I'm just conscious that I've got more viewers. When I you know, I've got more viewers. So any brands that approach me like they did before, they're going to get more exposure. And for some reason, I'm so lucky that anything, whether it's been on TV, whether it's been on working alongside brands, anything that I do, I'm a brand myself. For some reason, it just creates sales. So I think this face just helps sales. What can I say?
Yeah.
So I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing because I'm doing something right.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's...
I mean, more TV maybe.
Yeah.
South Asian faces need to be more on our screens.
100.
Would you agree?
100.
Yeah.
You know, England, Great Britain is a very multicultural and diverse community. You know, if you close your eyes, I'd just hear a northern girl, really. You know, and even my voice, if you heard it on the TV, it's just somebody from England.
I just feel like I'd love, like, for example, you know, being on one of these TV shows where maybe I'm doing a little bit of a professional, maybe a fashion show, or doing like a little segment of like maybe a hair up or some makeover, or segments on various different TV shows that they have in the morning, breakfast time, or, you know, like...
What about radio?
Oh yeah, I did do radio. I went and done. I got interviewed by what radio station was it? And they were on about, oh, Farida, would you consider presenting? So yeah, maybe it's just working out the timing and, you know, everything in. Let the opportunities roll in. Let me just sort of work out where to capitalise.
I think why people really like you, especially on TikTok, when you come on live, they see a real authentic person. They see a real person when they see yourself, Farida. Do you know what I mean? And because there's so many people leading you around the wrong way or for their own personal interest, they know if they come to you, you do exactly what you say.
Yeah, I've got to admit, the other day I bumped into some young girls and they were telling me how they'd joined my live stream, and the two sisters, they were like, oh, I was upstairs and my other sister was downstairs and we love joining your live streams when you're doing the makeup tutorial. And I said to her, what is it about the makeup tutorial? And she said, what we love about you is whilst you're doing the makeup tutorial, you always ask our opinion. What colour lipstick shall I do? What style eyeshadow application are we going to do today? And do you know what I mean? And I think that having the interaction, getting them involved, do you know what I mean? Rather than it's just about me putting my makeup on myself, it's engaging with your audience.
So can you tell us some top tips about makeup then? Is there any tips that you would give? So people are doing makeup at home, or women are doing makeup at home every single day. Obviously, people have different complexions, etc. Are there any top tips about makeup that when you're being inspired doing somebody else's, that you would say look at? Are there any good brands that you like working with?
To be honest, as far as top tips, you'd have to pay me to put the brands out there. I've worked too hard on my profile, so if you need that shout out brands, you need to pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about styles?
But what I'm saying is, as far as brands go, TikTok is the place to go. What I used to pay £35 for some baking powder under the eyes. We're not on about cooking baking. We're on about baking as in under the eyes, right? 35 quid I used to pay in Debenhams. You can get exactly the same product for like £19 off TikTok Shop. The discounts on TikTok Shop are incredible. When I say incredible, wow. Some of these beautiful abayas that you get for like 40, 50 quid in the shops in Birmingham, you would get for about £10.
Wow.
12 quid on TikTok Shop. The discounts are, and the products, fabulous. So as far as makeup tip, save your pounds, get quality products. They're all authentic, they're all real. Get them from TikTok Shop.
Here's my question: can people do fraud on TikTok Shop? Like,
No.
can you go on someone's link and it goes, yeah, but in the link there, and you go on it and you buy it and then you don't get the product? So that's something that scares me
No,
sometimes.
because you can actually create a ticket to say you've not received it. Straight away, TikTok will make sure you get reimbursed.
Okay.
Yeah. So the actual it's the person. Yeah, you'd get your money back. So you don't need to worry. I have bought loads of stuff from TikTok Shop. As far as makeup, you know, when you get to my age, less is more. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm 50 years old, so I've calmed down on my lashes. I've got, you know, makeup, it's just it's huge. It's not something that you can learn just overnight. You know, learning about the colours, the techniques. There's a lot to consider, skin types. So I wouldn't really want to give any specific tips. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but I just love the world of creativity.
For sure. Is there any other topics that you wanted to cover?
I don't. You're gonna copy and paste. Was there any other topics that I wanted to cover? Let me just have a quick think. So we've covered social media. We've covered my time in Big Brother.
Cover South Asians on TV. We've covered how to go viral. We covered a little bit about religion, makeup, strategy. I think we covered a lot there.
Do you think we've covered quite a
We've
lot?
covered a lot.
Really?
I've got
Compared to what?
I've got about 50, 80 reels out of this as well on top of it.
Really?
Yeah, 100. Like, you've said some amazing stuff, even stuff you haven't even realised. We've got some wicked clips here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm just let me just have a quick scan of the brain. Oh yeah, maybe we could just ask me about the party tonight.
Okay.
Who's going to win? Because that might be.
Okay, great.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because so today is Farida today. So you left Big Brother about 6 weeks ago. No,
Cool.
and today is the final.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, Farida, you've left Big Brother about 6 weeks ago now, and you're going to a party tonight. This is why you've come into London to see me kill two birds with one stone. What's going on tonight?
Yeah, so it is the actual final today. So the housemates who've made it to the final 5 are in the house today, and one person will be crowned with their 100k.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so you win 100,000 for this?
Yes.
It's not just for nothing.
So you know, we're going to the studio today. I need to get changed. I mean, you know, into my beautiful sparkly outfit.
What outfit you got?
Oh, it's beautiful Asian. It's yeah, you'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got a lovely outfit and I've got my tikka, my pasal. I'm deciding on whether I want. I've got a few different pieces of jewellery, but they really, you know, the crew, they loved, and it's become a bit of a thing on social media. Apparently, people are waiting to see what Farida Khalifa is going to wear this time.
Oh.
My clothing have become a thing as to, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to tonight, and you know, the way I see it, I'll be meeting like all 16 housemates will be there, and then one person there's 5 people left in the house, so they'll all be evicted one at a time, and then the final person will receive the crown and the 100 grand. But don't forget, you know, I'm definitely a winner, because, you know, the strongest people leave first. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, because we're the biggest threat. If you look at the likes of Alison Hammond, she did Big Brother. She left on week 2. And there's quite a few other, if you look at historically, there's quite a few other housemates that have done really, really well, gaining brand deals and various different deals on the back end of, you know, the ones that leave first are the ones usually the most remembered. Yeah. I mean, the other day, did I tell you? Even after I'd left, there was in every evictee, there was banners, bring Farida back. Yesterday I caught somebody with a t-shirt, bring Farida back, with a t-shirt on. I'm like, wow. So I'm just going to capitalise on this moment because I need to mix with the right people, rub my shoulders against the producers.
Amazing.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to celebrate tonight. Whoever wins, good luck to them. I'm really happy for them. Going to you know, they're all like under 25, the 5 people that are left. So let's see who gets it. And good luck to them. But I'm going to also work hard and capitalise on my opportunity of being in the Big Brother house.
100. I love that, Farida.
Watch this space.
Come on. And is there any, if somebody's watching this podcast right now, what is the message you'd like to deliver to them?
Yeah, so I would just say that, you know, believe in yourself, live your best life, don't worry about other people, don't look for validation off anyone. Whilst you're paying your bills, worry about number 1. Don't get mixed up in drugs and alcohol and all that. Because it does nothing for you. Pray regular, go to the gym, keep your energy levels high, eat well, take your vitamins. All these things are very, very important. Drink plenty of water, get your exercise, your swimming, do a bit of jab boxing. You know, because it helps. And just live your best life. Live life like, you know, tomorrow you
It's
just
like live like life like it's your last day.
Yes, that's exactly. And celebrate, embrace, and think every negative moment, turn it into a positive. Turn it into a positive. I think that is so important. Like, for example, do you know something? I had that many trauma moments when I was a child. I could have ended up in a mental hospital. That's how bad it was, right? Now, looking back, I'm so grateful for those moments. And my nephew said to me the other day, he says, Auntie, I just can't understand. How have you done it? You've gone from leaving school with no education and then suddenly you've gone from that to studying a bit and having your own business. We had no money and now you're like in the Big Brother house. I said, wow, you know, that's why I'm grateful for those traumatic times, because it made me determined to hustle and break boundaries and, you know, just like go for it. It's just sort of made me strong. Like, I just don't fear anything I literally just go with, I don't get nervous. I don't stress. That's one thing that I don't believe in either. What's the point of stressing? What do you achieve? All it does is makes you ill. So I just, honestly, that's all it does. What do you gain out of stressing? Just make sure you're organised. Get a diary, keep yourself organised, and you can only win.
100.
Don't cut corners. That's what I find with a lot of people. Social media is a little bit dangerous because it's such an open book. I feel like people forget to do the groundwork of the business plans. They try and run before they can walk. Do you
The
know
easy option.
Yeah.
The easiest
Whereas,
thing you can
like,
do.
when I say to people, right, if you want to set up a business, you need to put it down on paper first.
100.
Because once you write it down on paper, it'll give you a clearer insight into what you're trying to achieve, and it will make you understand the pitfalls and do you know what I mean?
They say make the invisible visible. You know, when you put it down on paper, it's a thing now. It's
Yes.
real.
Yeah.
Now you can put it
Whereas
into fruition.
what a lot of people do, they have this business idea, they start putting it on social media, and then suddenly it flops.
100.
Whereas when you've turned it into a plan of action, and
Yeah.
you know, like I've got some stuff that's going on abroad, I've
Yeah.
got a plan of action. I will make sure it happens. I'm already thriving to get there. In March, I will get on that plane. I've already got that strategy plan in place to. Do you know what I mean? And
100.
yeah.
You're taking
But
action.
action,
about action.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Farida, it's been lovely having you. If you just look straight into your camera and just let my audience know how they can follow you.
So it's Farida Khalifa at the moment. It says Farida Khalifa 7861 on TikTok, and then Farida Khalifa on Facebook. Then there's also a Traveller Gypsy hairstyling makeup page on Instagram. I'm sure if you just did hashtag Farida Khalifa, Big Brother, come down with me, blankety blank, and goggle box. You might just find me on Google. Isn't that true? Anyway, it's been great, Sean. Honestly,
We ain't got much for you, but I made this special pink T-shirt for you.
Oh my God, Sean,
You might be- you-
look at that. You know what? Who's watched me do my hooping? I'm going to put this on. You watch, and I'm going to do my hula hooping.
Come on.
I love that. It's my colour as well.
There you go. It
Pink
looks good.
is my colour.
Looks good, mate. You need to send me a picture with that.
Oh my God, you'll get more than a picture. You'll see me wearing it on live streams when I'm hula hooping.
Wicked,
You watch.
wicked.
Trust me, Sean Land. Sean Land, what do you do?
I'm the property and finance expert. You know, we're
Property.
all about real estate. So there we go. We've got over 50 episodes now. We've done quite well, Farida. But thank you so much for coming on the show. And for you guys at home, I hope you really enjoyed that. Thank you for subscribing, hitting the like button. Definitely leave us a comment and share this with somebody who would love this podcast and it will inspire them. So until then, we see you on the next one. Peace.